9.4.2 verification. Verification, that's another one, another error checking method. Verification is checking that data has been accurately copied onto the computer or transferred from one part of a computer system to another. Verification methods include double entry, screen visual check, parity check, checksum. So we learned earlier that verification is automatic or manual. Yeah,
Manual.
quickly, yeah? Oh, yes, very good.
Manual.
Here we learned that this is manual.
Validation is automatic. It's quickly
Verification
figuring.
is, yeah, it should reject. But the computer can do verification, though we say manual, that also can say like verifying an email, right? And verifying this, what you all have done yesterday, registering yourself. So those things also there. Let's see one by one. One is double entry. What is double entry? The data is entered twice, typed by different operators. The computer system compares both entries and outputs an error message, requesting that the data is entered again if they are different. Which means you enter, like if you want to enter this paragraph, this particular paragraph or this particular lesson into the computer, you enter it and you get another person to enter the same thing in another document. Then you can compare the two documents and see whether they are the same. If now A entered and B entered, if it is not equal, the computer doesn't know yet. Yet it doesn't know A entered correctly or B entered correctly. It only can detect that they are not the same. So the manually someone will have to check and see. So why is another one? Sometimes by different operators. That is because imagine that, for example, you are entering 1, 3, you are looking at a form, handwritten form, 13, and it looks like 1, 8, 18. The 3 looks like 8, bad handwriting. And you enter the wrong one. Second time also, if you enter, you will enter the same thing. But whereas a different operator will look carefully and then sense there's something wrong and then find out and enter 18 if that is the correct one. That is why different operators, because the same operator can make the same mistake second time, then there is no purpose of doing this double entry. Right? And also another example what I gave earlier, like two documents. What about the verification of password? Now, when you want to create a password or change a password, existing password, usually these applications or websites, they ask you to enter the present password, not necessarily, and then ask you to enter the new password twice. Enter once, then second time to confirm. Because if you make a mistake in the first one, without knowing, you think that you pressed I, but you have pressed L, you will not know which character. If it rejects the next time, you will not know which character you input. So because of that, you won't do the same mistake twice. For 3, you press 8 on the keyboard, but second time, there is very unlikely that second time also you will press it, because it's not like handwritten letters, no numbers. No. This is on the keyboard. So because of that, you enter twice and then the program will not know which one is right. It will only say passwords do not match. Please re-enter. All right. So this is double entry for verification. A screen, next one is a screen or visual check. That's a manual check completed by by the user who is entering the data. The user enters the data and then he checks. When the data entry is complete, the data is displayed on the screen and the user is asked to confirm that it is correct before continuing. So like before saving, the data is correct, so that you will have to check. The data entry operator will check and then confirm. The user either checks the data on the screen against a paper document that is being used as an input form, or confirms from their own knowledge if the data is about them. Parity checks, parity checks and checksums are discussed in sections 2.31 and 2.33. So that will be in the next section. So that is the end of it.
Excuse me, sir, can you please give an example for the screen visual check thing?
Yeah, okay. So now I give you, imagine that I take a printout of this thing, this lesson, and I ask you to enter it on the screen. Then you enter it. Then uh, when you save, it will ask, will save yes or no or something like that. That is a very simple example. It's not really it's a verification thing, but just to confirm. But there, before imagine that before saving, you go through it and check 9.3, is it correct? Yes. Otherwise, you will see that instead of test data, you have entered test marks. So then you'll have to correct it. Like that, you go through the whole document. That is visual, no? On the screen is visual. Now with the verification, like double entry, it's not like that. You don't look at it and confirm. The computer will check. The computer will check for similarity, and then if there is any difference, it will report that these two documents don't match. They are not equal. You understand? So that is visual screen, and visual thing is that screen check or visual check. Right? Let's see another one. You have to apply or send an application form. You have to fill up an online application form, or buy you buy online. You add things to the shopping basket. But at the end, before paying, then what do? You look at the items you bought and you have a list. If you have a list written, prepared, and then you check one by one. Is it correct? Or have I have to add one item to this? Or have I ordered one item extra? Or is it the wrong? Is it the correct item that I have ordered? Is it the correct color? Or have I entered my phone number correctly in an application form? So that kind of thing is done before confirming. That is done on the screen, no, looking at the screen. That is the answer to your question, how you check that way.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Yeah, okay. And also, this said, no, one more point. We have enough time now. This said another thing. What is that? Being used as an input form, that is the list of items that you wrote. Looking at that, you can confirm, or from their own knowledge, if the data is about them. Like if you're filling up an application form about yourself, then your name you have entered incorrectly or the phone number incorrect, that can be corrected. So visual check. You you don't have to look at any document. You know your data, right? That's it. Okay.